Hey there, my name is Pravus, welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues, playing as the Mojave chapter of the glorious Brotherhood. We are on a bit of a conquest spree as of late. We are currently gearing up to fight against our largest foe thus far, the 80s. The goal, of course, being to repurpose a lot of the incredible technology that I have been discovering in the last few videos and discover more about the Sierra Madre. Discover how all that's going to work, get some sort of a Gaia event, and then reform into the magnanimous Helios Brotherhood, then take the fight to everyone else. I would absolutely love to get the economic base to beat the snot out of the NCR, and murder the Kaiser, and even go and fight against the Western Brotherhood if they existed, so that I could, proclaim myself the dominant Brotherhood faction if that were at all possible. Now, you have to pardon me a little bit. I am trying to reorient myself a little bit. This is a new recording session for me, hence the change in some clothes. Actually just got back from an out-of-state trip for my work. So the day that I started first coming back to YouTube and uploading videos, I was actually out of state. But I have been watching the comments, and honestly, you guys have been great with me coming back so far. Thank you so much for the support. It really does mean quite a lot to me. We're training more troops, right? Yeah, we are trying to train up some additional Paladin patrols, and that's all well and good. I'm a bit low on the whole manpower thing, which is a little bit concerning. It might be worth trying to move on to some outsider initiates so that we can increase our non-core manpower at least a little bit. Does allow us to assimilate more refugees as well, but obviously we start losing some stability and some war support as a result. I don't think changing up the Paladins, no, it does make a difference, yeah, okay. So the recruitable population could go up as well. We could allow for senior knights, which isn't bad. We're only losing 1% attack and defense, and a little stability, but and also some special forces. That could have an impact, actually, on my ability to train up Paladins. That's worth noting. But aside from that, yeah, faster training, more manpower. I think we have to do this. Yeah. We're gonna go to Senior Knights, and the reason being, I need manpower to start mobilizing so I can field more troops, because I don't know when the Kaiser is gonna come for the Hoover Dam. But when he doth, I want to be ready to get him. Of course, we might get lucky, and it turns out that it goes all the way to the rebellion between Lanius and, what's his name, Volpa? Or something like that. We might get lucky and be able to take advantage of them during some sort of a civil war. That might be a thing. We're gonna find out. I am researching the vertibirds, since apparently I've had access to that for a little bit. Sorry, it's not like I got exactly a pop-up saying, "You found the vertibirds!" at any point, so I was a little bit surprised to find it. Don't care about boats still. Industry-wise, let's go ahead and start working on the refined tools for some extra production efficiency and that oh-so-important efficiency growth. Also, we got some more radar. This would be a bit ahead of time, but you know what? I'm okay with working toward miniaturized circuitry. I mean, when you've got 6 research slots and you've already finished out your doctrine, like, you're good for a bit. A chained dog. Our scouts have been able to locate a rather useful little beast in the form of a particularly deranged yet useful super mutant. Handpicked by the master to serve in his super mutant army, Dog's job was to fetch new humans to be turned into super mutants. Dog was crushed by the master's defeat, and he eventually found his way to the Sierra Madre, where we found him. It should be easy to take advantage of his need for a master figure in order to enslave him like a beast. Dog is extremely loyal and will follow the commands issued by his master's voice to the letter, even when it puts him in danger. It is ultimately the Brotherhood's duty to use the old world to protect the new. After all, the beast will serve me. Did I just get access to a new unit, a new general, field marshal, anything like that? No. I have no idea where that comes into play, but alright, so we finished up that. Still can't work toward the Gaia event yet. We can now study the cloud or our enemies. Let's go ahead and study the enemies. I know there are other things in, like, the, National Focus Tree that would be good to go over. I am well aware of that. However, I also am kind of the opinion that working down the unique stuff and becoming a reformed supernation is pretty good. So we're bypassing a lot of the earlier stuff that I could have been working on in favor of something more fun. There's the bricks for a little bit of extra construction time. That's usually pretty good. This is still ahead of time. I think I'd rather, if I'm gonna go ahead of time on something industrial, I'd rather go for the extra manpower and the monthly population so that we can start increasing this. By the way, notice that we are now up to 1.35 thousand troops. We are training up, it looks like just 3 more units of paladins. What I really need are some more defensive troops. Actually, I can't train up that many more defensive troops, so I'm gonna need another general. Unless I made you into a local leader. Yeah, but, I mean, if you're more of a defensive general, then what I really want is anything that gives me, let's say, entrenchment, or anything that lets me have some extra defense. Super mutant defense and stuff. Like, a lot of these traits aren't really that outstanding. I guess gun nut would be okay. But, like, meh? Like, where's the raw infantry bonus? You know, that's what I want. Infantry attack and defense. There you go. 10%. We'll pick that up first, and we don't have another trait. Darn. Would have been nice to be able to fit an extra 6, but okay. We'll work with that for the moment, and I will train up at least a few more paladins since I've got some extra manpower to work with. It's not like the paladins aren't also going to be really good at fighting defensively if they need to. They're literally my equivalent to walking tanks. Okay? Is the best that I'm able to do. By the way, I really hope that I am pronouncing Sierra Madre correctly. I had to study Spanish for like 3 years when I was in school, and I passed well. I learned enough to get good grades, but then it just kind of went poof, right out of my head. But I used to be able to do a Spanish accent fairly well. Now you gotta roll that R, so yeah, there's that anyway. Organizations request increased production capacity. This feels unimportant, but okay. Economic partners, if we can have 46 military factories. How many do I have right now? 40. I can do this. We can build more. I plan on building out 6 more factories, and actually right now I'm just in the middle of doing repair jobs anyway, so screw that noise. Let's go ahead and start building up more of these factories wherever I have reasonable-ish infrastructure. Anything close to the Kaiser is a little risky, but I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to accept that right now in promise of just faster factory construction. New Reno takes some territory away from the Yakuza. New Reno, we played them before, right? Did we? I know that we did an Enclave series, 2 Enclave series, actually, I believe, which was really fun, but that was based on a mod. I think the only way to form the actual Enclave properly is to play as New Reno in the base game without extra mods. Anyway, the 80s are still involved in their war against Eastport. They have no other defenders. How are they looking as far as defense on the front line? There are holes, which means I can easily just punch my way through. And we've got enough defense over here to make sure that they don't go anywhere, so what we'll do is we will use my power armor to punch through here, cut them off around the Ruby Valley, and then we can absolutely systematically crush them. I will happily declare this war. Now, if I recall, the 80s are actually more dangerous than you might think, so don't assume that these guys are pushovers. They probably aren't. I would like to go ahead and start micromanaging some of these troops to try and guarantee that I win some of these early fights. And then we will simply push them back repeatedly. Ideally, of course, we would like to get up to things like these railroads, snag some of those. But from my experience, I do recall that it gets very annoying fighting against these guys with these little mountains, these little impassable things breaking up all your front lines because the game's never been that intelligent. Oh wow, they're actually pushing pretty well against my defense. Never mind, they're losing. Okay. That's what I was worried about for a moment, but it looks like we are going to be fine. Okay, so you know what? Now that we are actually breaking through and he has no more front lines, we punch through all of that. I'm going to say be aggressive to try and snag the territory as fast as I can. I do want to snag some territory over here, kind of widen this out so I can fill this in a little bit more if needed. Some of you guys should be going up this way. Goal is to get to Ruby Valley. I'm going to tell you guys to basically follow the railroad as much as possible and cut this stuff off. Once that's cut off, I'll ignore the north, even though Eastport might take some land, and I'm going to turn around and crush the rest of his army. Then I can just do whatever I want. I'm just trying to minimize losses and maximize gain. That's how you get value. Ghosts of the past. As the Brotherhood paladins began to secure the villa outside of the Sierra Madre, they faced hostile forces for the first time. Why are there quotation marks here? Is this like... I don't suppose this is one of those things where, like, you actually are taking some script from the actual game. Are you? I don't know. The sound of creaking metal echoed throughout the villa like a distorted scream. One of the knights looked down at his chest only to see a ghastly arm protruding from it, wriggling around in the air as if it were trying to grasp more flesh. Twitching violently, it pulled back with otherworldly force. The knight fell to the ground as he vomited blood inside his own helmet. It stood there, hunched over its kill with arms wide and reaching for the dead man. Suddenly, it twitched in place, letting out a terrible screech and chitter as it turned to face the group. Once men, these creatures seem to have thrived upon the use of suits Elijah recalls from the Big MT, although their poor design led to the cloud eventually leaking into their suits and changing them for the worse. So a cloud of some sort of a mutagen, I guess? Interesting, terrifying. We will learn their secrets. Why? This sounds horrible. Now we will study the cloud itself. as the local denizens call it, a destructive chemical miasma that coats the entirety of Sierra Madre. Interesting. Okay, there is a creepy cloud of death. Right, I'm not a fan of creepy cloud of death, but we'll work with it. You know, I'll work with what I've been given, it's fine. I'm gonna have you go ahead and punch up this way as well. Let's just make sure that we take the Ruby Valley from a couple different directions. I need you to start pushing down along this way. Break off those dang supply routes. Thank you, logistics companies. That will make my life a smidge easier. We are ahead of time on all this, yeah, but not on proximity munitions for air attack. Don't really care that much. We could start working on better dogs, I guess. I still don't think dogs are a very high priority, though, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's just not that good. We could start working on a bit of organization for my infantry, and even though this is ahead of time, still think it is probably well worth it. So let's go ahead and start working on some of that. Where are my troops currently going? Answer, kind of nowhere. What do you need? You turn around and get up over here. We've got to start encircling these guys. The 80s are really annoying to fight. Really annoying. I just remember that for absolute sure. Because there are going to be so many little broken up front lines that we have to worry about. And I don't like it. Let's go ahead and start pushing up this way with another round of troops. You're already doing some of that. You guys are going to be pushing up to the Ruby Valley together. We can probably crush this guy. And we're currently working toward encircling these guys over here if possible. Something's happening in Mexico. I don't really care. It's probably not a big deal. We have, again, broken up a front line here. See, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? These guys, like, have all stopped working over here because they've now split everything up. And look at that. I've now been encircled. Tell you what, we're going to go to Cold Hill real quick to make sure I have some sort of... And these guys all got broken up. I hate this. I really do. Fighting against the 80s has always been the biggest pain in the patut that ever there was. All right. Now, we'll just micromanage it for a little bit. I just need to get some local supply generation over here. These guys will get cleared out. I need to now expand the front line to be more like this. You get up here, please. Can you attack from another direction, and we will save the guys up at Cold Hill, because I don't want to lose any of my paladins, thank you. And yeah, my front line is now all split up, because that's just how this is going to work. Oh, the sooner I can get through this and clear these guys out, the better. If I can just get to this right here, that'll be enough to cut off all of their supplies. And we can start going for it. It's not exactly an encirclement, but it's close enough for what I need. You will also push over this way. Why is there a... You can have railroads go over the mountain ranges here? That's interesting. Didn't know that was going to be an option. You stopped attacking. That's interesting. Well, we're going to go ahead and push this way then. Still trying to make sure that we save this paladin by attacking from two directions. We should be able to accomplish that. And once again, everything's broken up. This has always been, like, just one of the most annoying things in HoI4. It always has been. It always will be. I would love, love, love for somehow this stuff to always break up in a more intelligent way. Would absolutely adore that. But, oh, and now some units have been reassigned over here. See, I don't know what changed, but they found a way. Anyways-y-hoo. Okay, so this guy's at risk of getting cut off because obviously we are, you know, we're getting kind of thin here. I've got a very wide front line. Get down to duck water. Duck water! Woo! Why aren't you going where I want you to? There we go. Do this. Push away to the outpost dam. My infantry are going to have to start leading a charge in just a bit. Why are you up here? I guess that's fine. Whoa, okay, hang on. Let's have you attack here just for a quick counterattack. And you know what? Yeah, now that we've managed to grab the railroads along here, these guys should get no reinforcements. I think we go ahead and start making that push. We'll push up over here, then we'll circle back around to something like the Crescent Valley. I do not need any of this territory, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and clear it out using some faster-moving units. The motorcycles are the best way to deal with the 80s. When you're trying to cover this much ground super fast, I mean, speed is so stinking nice. But yeah, I'm definitely spread too thin right now. Anything else that would be wise to get right now? Not under infantry or anything there. What about under air? We could start working on some fighter planes and stuff, but meh. How about we go ahead and start working on better radars and reinforcements and stuff? I guess, yeah. All right. Probably fine. So let's see. We are snagging duck water, right? Oh, where are my spies at the moment? I just realized we haven't been doing anything with them. I don't think there are any special missions that I'm able to do anymore, right? Yeah, so we've just been building up a spy network here in the Kaisar's Legion. Bribe leadership? That's just if you want to infiltrate the civilian government. Make resistance, mine the Colorado. Yeah, that's one of the things that we can do. Yeah, I don't think this is a bad idea per se. What does it take as far as equipment? Just some support equipment? That's fine. Let's go and make use of some of these unique missions here. We're gonna launch boats and we're gonna mine the river so it's harder for the Kaiser to launch across this river if he does attack, which gives me just a little bit more time to work with. I don't know why you've decided to go this way. Stop what you're doing. Okay, you're gonna come down over here. No, no. Why are you... Apparently we're unable to go here. I don't know why I'm unable to reinforce in that location. Something weird has apparently occurred. Okay, whatever, it's fine. Can you guys just push up this way? With some infantry to support? If you can just push up this way, we can encircle a few units. I just want these guys encircled, that's all I care about. There we go. Finally. Good lord, I don't understand what's going on over here at all. Yeah, they've managed to encircle my guys, which is what we expected. I need to just finish off, I just need to finish off the south and move everybody up. I can't keep pushing to the north, which I have been doing. This has been dumb. This has not been a very good execution, I admit it. The cloud is what blankets the sky here. You may smell it in the air, copper and sulfur, burns the lungs and seeps into the skin, an airborne toxin spewed over the dead city. Over the years, has grown to a massive blood-red fog that blankets the entire Sierra Madre. We found a ghoul here, Dean Domino. Claims to be an expert. It wasn't always here. It grew over the years, even without cars or factories to keep it pumping. Apparently it was an experiment of some sort. Okay. No way to get the technology is needed. The cloud, if used right, could possibly serve as a great weapon if harnessed. Yeah, we could cleanse the slate clean with bioweapons, effectively. That sounds great. Power armor bonuses. Heck yes, I'll take those. All right, so yeah. Everybody hold this ground. Hold your line. You guys push down here. You get up here. You guys push down here. I'm gonna get what I want, which is an encirclement of all these units, okay? That's what we're shooting for. That's what I'm gonna do. One of you cycle back up this way through Eureka to make sure that I control the railroads as well, okay? Once these guys are crushed, I'll bring my infantry as a backup to make sure that I don't have any holes in my line so that I don't get encircled and I'm still able to win this, okay? Yes, we're about to get this secured. Okay. Can you please go around this way to the Crescent Valley? I just want to make sure we have some sort of local supply generation. You can push up this way through the railroad to make sure that these guys... Actually, yeah, go back this way. Let's just make sure that we don't lose a paladin group here. Okay, we have managed to encircle these guys as was intended. So we'll have this. They have a little bit of local supply generation, but not too much. Push this guy back out, please. He should not be here. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, we're gonna be fine. Can you start pushing through this? Kill off his units, clear this group up. Okay? There we go, there we go. All looking good so far. You, I'm gonna go ahead and set to aggressive to make sure that we can just manually go through all this. I don't wanna have to worry about it. Hold on to Eureka. Sure, these dang mountain ranges, dude, they are so annoying. They really, really are. That's actually, I think, it's not just like the lines breaking up, it's also been one of the hardest parts for me to acclimate into with Old World Blues in general. Because between rivers and little mountain ranges like this, there are lots of things that just break up the terrain. Now, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it is the western United States. It's an extremely mountainous region, right, once you get past the Great Plains, but there you go. Anyways, all right, so these guys are all going to get cleared out. Let's finish them off around Duckwater. Woo! Let's also quickly set up another front line along here. I'm going to set up you guys to go this way with an offensive line to go ahead and clear them out. Go ahead and do that. I have a trait that I can assign on my field marshal. Now, getting something like, what is it? Not Life Giver. Local leader would not do me a lot of good. I don't feel like I want that. The breakthrough I've enjoyed. Max planning, probably not that useful. This would be great if it actually like passed down into all the other armies, but meh. Division recovery rate could actually be really good because I feel like my recovery has been pretty slow. Attrition reduction's not bad. Just straight out more attack and stuff isn't bad either. Fight the power, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I could go for some extra infantry attack and defense, but I think I am going to go for the division recovery rate. I see that as being pretty useful to sustain my armies, whether they end up being defensive or offensive. So let's just do all of those, right? All of that. I'm going to set up another defensive line right here so that as we finish up with this group, they all automatically reassign up to the north. They're instead going down to the south against the Kaiser. Not what I meant to do, but that's fine. Let's assign a handful over here, and now we're going to be able to finally start clearing all of this nonsense out. Good. All right, all right. How you doing up there, Eastport? You making progress? You should be. We've got Cloud Walker power armor. So what are we going to do? Just, like, inject this, like, personal chemical atmosphere into our power armor or something? I don't know. The Gaia event. All right, all of the pieces are in play. I merely have to give the order, and the Sierra Madre can have the grand opening it always deserved. When you say Gaia event, you mean just cleaning up the Sierra Madre itself, huh? I was hoping we'd have, like, a giant terraforming event that, like, affected a lot of the wastes, but all right. It's fine. It's fine. I did learn, by the way, that no, Elijah apparently is not a some sort of an AI personality. I just sort of assumed that because, like, with Mr. House and everything, like, obviously they have this holographic-looking portrait. Same for a lot of the AIs in Mexico as well, by the way. But apparently he's a character from Fallout New Vegas, I think. I don't know. I haven't really... I'm really not much of a Fallout guy, believe it or not. I don't know a ton about all of it. But from what little I had seen and looked up when I was trying to figure out the thumbnail, it looks like he actually was some sort of a character. Hey, we have vertibirds! Ha 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 ha! Okay, apparently I don't have sophisticated air tech though, so I can't turn them into gunships. I can only make really good transports. It's not as good as I might have liked, but we'll make do. Let's go to production real quick. So these are gonna be what, like air transports? Do they have any like particular stats I should know about? Can we see that? Defense, agility, speed. They don't appear to have any sort of combat at all. They are really just very good transport planes. Which is a shame. Would have been really awesome. But I could start transitioning to a paratrooper style of build. That could be an option. We could start doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and start attaching a couple of extra factories over here. Logistically speaking, how are we doing on everything else? We have no dogs, and this surprises me not because, well, I do need a lot of dogs as I continue to conquer a lot of territory. Industrial fertilizer and the refined tools are done. You know what, since I got nothing else to do, let's go ahead and start working on them trained dogs, and then, let's start working on the extra nomadicity reduction or resources. No, let's start working on the recruitable population factor plus 2%. I see that being useful. We have 5,000 manpower to work with now, by the way. Which means it's time to go ahead and start just accepting that we're going to need more units. More units of practically every kind. To start training up as many as we can, we need to have another general assigned and ready to go. In fact, I don't even mind going ahead and assigning a new commander. We'll just go ahead and train you up. You're not nearly as cool and holographic-y as the other ones, but all right. Oh, and the 80s are dead. Hey, that was easy. All right. So let's think. We want to take probably all of this up to the Ruby Valley, then get up over here to Wendover. That's a little bit too expensive. 842 war score? My God. Yeah, so I can take all of this, but around Wendover, that does not appear to be much of an option. We call that slightly unfortunate because it means that Eastport's probably got some sort of a claim that like makes it cheap and acceptable for them, but very expensive for me. I don't know. End turn. Pass, pass, take, take, take. Grab all of you, which does open me up on quite a few other front lines, so there's something to be scared about there, but all right. Pass, 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 pass. I mean, I might be able to grab, like, Etna and stuff. Sure, we'll take you. It's got resources, which is all I really care about. I do not really want to fight New Canaan. I want to take Wendover, but yeah, they're taking the rest of it. All right. Is there anything else to take? Apparently there is. Oh, it's a mountain range. Yeah, I'll take that too. All right, done. Okay, so the Mojave chapter grows. I haven't been working on a new war goal on anyone, but that's partly because I just don't know who I want to attack. The NCR Rangers is no. Eastport, we could. I mean, maybe. New Canaan is in the Mormon Alliance. Are you the only member of that faction, though? You are, actually. I mean, technically we could attack them before they have a chance at expanding that in any way. Dead Horse. The problem with Dead Horse is it opens up new ways to get into the Kaiser. The advantage of Dead Horse is turning them into a puppet that I call in at my leisure on the war, which means I have the advantage of when I decide to attack across the straits. I think that's worth it. We're going to go ahead and start working on that. Truth be told, I kind of was expecting that we were going to be going to war by now against the Kaisar, so I'm slightly surprised that we have not. But anyways, let's go ahead and start trickling all of our troops back. I am very concerned that our occupied territories are getting a little out of control. In a lot of ways. Let's take a quick look at our compliance and see if there's anywhere I can start pulling back. Like, do we need road patrols and stuff anymore? Not really. We can probably move back to, like, caravan guards there. Anywhere we have really high compliance, we can start pulling back a bit. And that'll save me a little bit. I'm thinking around 70% or so. We'll pull back on a few locations there. You're on road patrols. We still don't have a coring candidate for you yet. But this will be okay. All right, let's do that. That's going to save me at least a little bit of equipment. Really wish I could have killed the Great Khans so that we can deal with them before they become a threat, but oh well. I do have a handful more factories, which I wasn't expecting. We'll go ahead and train up some more of these mongrels. And then logistically speaking, we would like... We have lots of infantry equipment. I could get more power armor. And honestly, if it's not more power armor, then after that, it's probably just planes. I think we start working on planes and stuff and just focus heavily on the air at this point. I think that's going to be fine. So power armor, you can see here, by the way, are paratrooper eligible. Which means if I dominate the skies with really fast, powerful transports, I could just drop suddenly on a whole bunch of targets. It's really good. All right, the Gaia event. The Sierra Madre never actually opened the doors and opened to the public. Why getting into the actual casino is so difficult? In order for us to get the technology within, we will need to trigger the Gaia event, a set of pre-existing conditions outside of the casino around that will cause the doors to open. With our paladins prepared, they begin to make work trying to trigger this event, fighting off the ghost people around the villa all the while. Eventually, when we stationed one paladin at each end of the villa and had them perform corresponding actions, it caused what we were looking for. The writing on this one's a little bit awkward, but we'll go with it. A voice could be heard over the intercom as the gates of the Sierra Madre opened. Everyone, please, may I have your attention? Guests and residents of the villa alike, I ask you to step outside and look to the night sky. It's the moment you've been waiting for, the reason we're all here. The Gaia event, the grand opening of the Sierra Madre Casino. You are the ones who have made this momentous occasion possible, and for that, we thank you. So raise your glass in celebration. Let music fill the streets. Fireworks light the sky and promise of new beginnings fill your heart. No matter what your fortune, no matter what your cares, let go this night and begin again. I suggest you hurry though. The gates of Sierra Madre are open but for only a brief time. After that, the doors will close for the evening's festivities and won't open again till morning. Alright, this is my only chance to see what lies within. The obsession of Elijah is coming to fruition. Molecular assemblies, or design the hollow rifle. Are we gonna get super infantry weapons? Because I would like that. I would like that a lot. Hey, something I really want is to go ahead and start building up some new air bases in this approximate location. And the reason for that being, if I am gonna have some vertibirds, I might be able to just do some quick, like, little blitz drops on places like Crazy Horse and just instantaneously end wars now. If, of course, I can get a handful of vertibirds built up, which I am still slowly building up. The efficiency, it's gonna take a bit, but we're getting there. I'm actually gonna say that this is a high priority. Really want to get those going. In fact, I'll actually pull back a bit on the power armor. There we go. Let's go ahead and start working on those, make sure we get those transports. Miniaturized circuitry is done a bit faster than I otherwise was expecting, so that's not too bad. We can start working on some extra close air support ground attack. I think that's absolutely worth it, even if it is 0.1 years ahead of time. We have completed mining the Colorado. Fantastical. Let's get right back to building up some more of that spy network all around Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff's actually not a bad place, by the way. I liked going there as a kid. It was nice. It's like one of the more mountainous things. That's the thing about like the topography of Arizona. Everyone thinks of just raw desert, and there's definitely lots of desert sections and lots of cactus. But you can really split the state up into the valley, which is kind of the southern side, and that's more of like flatter desert with mountains all around. And then the northern side is really far more mountainous and getting closer to a warm Colorado. That's kind of more what it's like. Economic resurgence. Wendover has thrown off its downturn. Boom, we have a new node. Or somebody has a new node. Wouldn't that be Eastport? Because they own Wendover. I would think that they have it. That's actually a very good reason why I should kill Eastport, so I can get all the bottle cap income. Speaking of which, is there something I can do with this, by the way? Because, like, I should start spending some money. Let's go for daily compliance gain. Why not? We got lots of money. I'm barely spending any on troops. Like, that is not the issue. So let's just go ahead and do more of that. Okay, hang on. We got molecular assembly going on here. Lennius's cohort just took a bunch of territory. That's scary. Ooh, interesting little artworks down over y'all. Created a big mountain at the Y0 Research Center. The development of the Sierra Madre vending machines was bankrolled by Frederick Sinclair. The devices he commissioned were intended not just as vending machines, but as emergency dispensers supplying food and resources to ration out in the event of a nuclear holocaust. Sinclair described them as means for self-efficiency, blah, blah, blah. They felt like company's store, so you can use vending machines to buy anything. This is just kind of going to like actual Fallout content where you can use vending machines in hilarious ways. At the heart of the machines is revolutionary pre-war technology that never achieved much commercial success outside, although it had the potential to stop the Great War if it had. It is a self-contained matter transformation device. That's amazing. I never assumed that about these vending machines at all, but that's incredible. The chips is not some form of nanotech feedstock, simple alloys, eligible food, blah, blah, blah. So we got something incredible. Okay, we have vending machines, and I got, holy frickin' heckin' hoy! 33% factory output? Oh my god! That's insane! That is so unbelievably good! Alright, well on that note, we're out of time, we're gonna end that video, but I just got a massive productivity boost, which will easily make up for the fact that I don't have as many factories as the Kaiser or the NCR. Holy cram, we're gonna be able to produce a frick ton out of every one of these factories. That's amazing. Thank you all very much for watching, hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.